Right, okay. Neither, okay? So, okay, right, that's fine. Okay, Doc, I'll sort that out with Doc's parrot and get those rabies injections. Is what, sorry? No, I'm in the barn. Yes. Well, I just heard what you want to do. I said, do you want to stay here and I'll take Larky? I'll take Larky over. I'm sure she'll come over. Okay, bye. Larky, you know what? We could have some more look. Larky, would you like some? Oh, you know, that Wanda's got over a packet somewhere. Here, sweetheart. You okay? Oh. Oh. Hey, good boy. Oh. I made it a little bit. You okay? A little bit. Oh. Sorry, Larky.
Well, she's still, Sizzle is not doing well, so we don't know what's the matter. She is still drinking water. She would not eat, but this is her second day not eating.
Yes.
Not even canned food. Although she did eat a little bit of canned food this morning.
Okay.
She's not eating it now. She did get up and go out and pee and come back and lie down.
What? Good.
But I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
Right.
It's always the weekend.
Yes. It's always the weekend when something goes wrong. That's the way.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Where's Janine? Is she around?
She's,
The car is here.
well, Covette's in the barn. She's doing barn chores, so I'm not sure.
Oh.
So she'll be
The
somewhere.
vet's in the barn?
Claudette.
Claudette.
Yes. She helps on Friday and a Saturday. So she does evening chores and Saturday chores. So she's very good.
Okay.
And we're very lucky because Covette's been with us a long time because she was with me and Meredith. So yeah.
Okay.
So
We had a good job this morning.
yep, another good job.
Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah. And how many people do you think we saw?
Oh, it has to be upwards of 60.
Right.
Because they're coming out of the woodwork,
Yes.
literally.
Yes. People kept appearing and swapping and then disappearing.
And I started with the one woman down there. If she talks to me, she signs at the same time.
Yes.
And I think I'd learn better.
Yes. So that was super. So we took, we saw about 60 people. We took Larky and Wanda. We had Sally the turkey. We had Ziggy the Bunny, and we had Flower, our mini horse.
Yeah.
So that was super. And Flower is getting lots of experience going up and down in elevators.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was on and off that elevator, about 8 times yesterday. Yeah. because she had to go all the way up and down, and yeah, she's doing really very well. And so that was super. And then Sally did really well. I've got to a stage where I corral her with my feet.
That was cute.
Oh, so
I wish that we'd work a little more on a side pan with her.
Yeah, but you know what we're finding with her is that she doesn't take treats. It's shiny things she goes for.
That's correct. And I'm hoping that the frying pan just might have enough attraction to get.
Yeah. Do you think we really want to encourage the pecking though?
No.
No, because I try and just steer her head away and guide people to her back because she's beautifully soft. Although, can I tell you, we had her beautifully clean this morning going onto the trailer. She puts in the trailer, then lay on it, and then we had to take the wipes over her when we got there. Honestly, she's a mucky puppy, that one. What a mess.
Yeah.
So she was out she was walking the floor. And we were lucky because Carol came to help as well. And Carol said she was going to come on, she was thinking about coming on Monday and Tuesday as well.
Oh, good.
Maybe Carol knows where we're going Monday and Tuesday because I don't. So that's it. It's always good to have another set of very capable hands. So thank you, Carol. So that's very much appreciated. And it's a bit overcast this afternoon, isn't it? It's good this morning.
I think I got dripped on coming here.
Yeah, probably. I did evening chores in Meredith, and just about putting out my last hay bag, it was beginning to spit. I was like, go me.
I tell you what, I'm going to go back to the house.
Yeah.
You're going to babysit him.
I babysit him. He was asleep.
He had a rough day.
Yeah. It was a busy day.
He had a busy day. He did not behave that well when nobody was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he missed having a similar.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could not send him across the yard. Ordinarily, he'd go all over.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't. He'd stay right with me. And it wasn't until after I got the cookies that I could throw them all over that I got it going.
Yeah.
He showed absolutely no interest in the turkey or the rabbit, so I didn't see it. You?
No.
He didn't pay attention to him. He put up the cookies.
Yes. He was busy.
He
was busy.
He was busy.
He was on a search and find mission, and then eat. It keeps on going.
So you stay here.
Yeah, good boy. Like, where are we going now? Will you make it back okay?
Bye.
Okay. Larkey. Good to see you, darling. So.
Oh. Well, I guess he's going to go with me.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
I put the heating on for no reason there at all. I'll have to remember to shut it off as well. So, that was a very, very interesting job today because some of the people are not only deaf, but they're also blind. So it really shows you know, the power of touch because we've got so many animals with different textures. That turkey she's just so silky. And as long as you don't touch her, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. As long as you don't touch her nose. People, particularly the people who didn't have sight, they were absolutely fascinated with. She's got a very sort of like lumpy neck, and she gets warm when we're inside. So she's very warm and very pliable, and then you go all the way down and you hit the feathers, and she's so smooth. So people really enjoyed that. And then obviously we had Ziggy, and Ziggy stretches out in his pram, and he just has people petting him quite the thing. It's absolutely fantastic, and he's so relaxed. So he's super. And we had Wanda, who, you know what she's like. She just likes to sit in a seat beside people. And Larkey was going around. He was working the room. He was doing a good job. And then we had our little Miss Flower, and she was very good. She just went from person to person because people were sitting. They were either wheeled in wheelchairs or they were sitting in a circle. So that was super. She's doing very well going around. kind of finding with her at times is she's something better without cookies, because when she has cookies, she gets a bit moody, and in fact, she can get quite overly anxiously moody, and so that's an interesting development with her. So she might be one that we have to take around without any extra food. So that worked out really well. And then of course we went past a place to pick up a Thanksgiving turkey sandwich. Shh, mention that word, for Carlene. And so she had dinner, and she's also got her evening meal because she only ate half of it. So that was great, and a very enjoyable visit, and also thank you obviously to Carol for coming to join us. Now, Sizzle, we're just going to have a good look and see if she either writes herself or she needs to go to the vet. If she needs to go to the vet, we'll take her whatever time of day or night, and it doesn't matter the day, and we'll make sure that she's comfortable and covered. She doesn't appear to be in any form of distress. She's not, she's not panting heavily. She's just been a little bit off her food. But Carlene did say that she had a problem and I think stumbled when she was going on to the twin bed a couple of days ago. So I don't know whether or not maybe she's hurt herself and she's just a touch off her food. But we'll keep a very good eye on her, and then we'll take it. No, Sally did not get upset when you put on your turkey hat. That's probably because the turkey hat that you had on was an oven-ready turkey and there was no feathers on it, so she didn't recognise it. It was a naked turkey, Carol. So we're all good. Yeah, I think that Larky is desperately adaptable, and he goes in with Wanda, and he's he knows what he's doing. He's a confident dog, and he actually did very well. Sizzle for the last few days really hasn't wanted to go out and go on the dogs because she has to jump in the car, and then sometimes when Willow's in the car, it gets a bit too much for her because Willow and Larky, they wrestle when they go out and jog together. In the car when we're traveling there. So, I think Sizzle's definitely looking for the quieter side of life. So, and I don't blame her. Now, yes, you did have a box delivered, Susan, and can I find it? Not quite yet. It's not at the mail hut. And I was doing evening chores on Meredith, so I came back. And it's beginning to get a bit dark. I don't know whether or not it's maybe been picked up by either Janine or sometimes Carlene picks things up and then she opens them and doesn't tell us. But I will find it, and we greatly appreciate that because we need those tubs of treats. This weekend, I think we have a gentleman coming to work on some fencing, and I'm hoping that it's the fencing for the chickens that is up in the Beagle house, which will just you'll be able to see them on camera, and there'll be a little bunch of chickens that they're still pretty small, but they should eventually be able to go out on there. And then what I'm wanting to do is amalgamate the chickens from the other side over at the nut house into that area, which might not please the goats too much, to be honest with you. I've just got another little modification to make so that the chickens can't fly into the goat area and then out. But I'm hoping, because I know this is ridiculous, both the nut house and the Eagle house are heated at the moment because it's just been a bit chilly, and I've got young chickens on both sides. So I do have the heater on. The goats come in, they drink their water, they eat their hay, they have their goat balancer, some of their forage pellets, and then they leave. It's just what the goats seem to like doing. They're not particularly bothered about the rain, they're not particularly bothered about it being dark. They come and go, and if I don't let them come and go, they take the door off. So we're going for the lesser of two evils. There's something else. Yes, of course. If we have any news about Sizzle, we will update you, and hopefully it will be good news. But yes, we will keep you up to date with what's happening. People with pet turkeys eat cheese for Thanksgiving. We actually have been having this debate, and we're not sure what we're going to do for Thanksgiving. And Nick and I actually, it's not a tradition that we have in Scotland anyway, so it's we've always kind of like just jumped on the American bandwagon. But I'm not sure whether or not my children will be with us anyway. So if it's just Nick and I think we might just have a pizza and that will do it. It's because, you know, as everybody knows, the farm doesn't stop, Meredith doesn't stop, the animals certainly don't pay mind to Thanksgiving, and we'll just have to keep going. So that's what we'll be doing. It will be business as usual, same as Christmas. So, and then we were discussing what people eat. We were like, maybe it's ham, and then we decided we weren't that keen on ham. And well, we've got Elvis and Jenny, so we're a bit leery of beef as well. And then Carlene suggested lamb, and I said no. I said absolutely not. I said I love the sheep and Meredith. I said no, just can't do it. And then we came up with salmon. I don't have any real affinity to salmon. No problem is I don't actually like salmon, but yeah. So it might be fish. And then Janine said she likes those Impossible burgers, which are I'm going to say fake meat. It's definitely not meat, but it's something or other created to look like meat. So it sounds like we might be doing something with burgers. Will be interesting. And we've got, I thought Thanksgiving was actually next Thursday, but it's not. So we've got stacks of time to get ourselves organised. Oh. Yes, we very much appreciate outreach treats. Oh, that's a pleasure, Carla, for the video of the black and the grey chicken with Sally. She's so funny, Sally, because, you know, she does actually she just wanders around, she tells the ducks what's going on, she tells those two chickens what's going on, and she just like mothers everything. It's really quite sweet. Oh, and unfortunately, one of the female turkeys, she passed away. It must have been early this morning, so I removed her from the stall down here. She's been a bit off for a few days. We think she didn't appear to be egg bound, but she's only just started laying. And sometimes we have a few complications. And I did check her a few days ago because she seems a bit off colour, and I couldn't find anything wrong with her. And when I came back to check her a few hours later, she was outside strutting around as she usually did. So she seemed that she was much better. And even last night, because I do check on her just to make sure that she was, you know, she hasn't relapsed. And even last night, I said to Nick, I said, I thought she looked fine last night. And he said, yeah, me too. He said, I don't see any problem with her. So whatever happened must have happened in the early hours of the morning, and she passed away in the stall. So I removed her. The other two don't seem particularly put out, which is a bit offensive, but it doesn't look like it's been anything, you know, there was no damage to her, so we'll keep a little eye on that. Those birds are obviously separated from the birds that are on the pond, and then they're also separated from my birds that are up the hill, so we've got a very good degree of separation. Yes, we do eat a large degree. We could just actually have what's that? Sweet potatoes with marshmallows. There you go, job done. That's kind of like the meal and the dessert course done in one. And I think Carlene actually likes that, so that's maybe what we're supposed to do. Yeah, turkey-shaped pasta for mac and cheese. But only if it comes ready-made, otherwise you'd have to cook. Yes, and I think Janine says those burgers are absolutely fantastic. She loves them. No, Sybil's not been to the vet because there's not anything that you can read. She's off her food, and she didn't eat last night, and she only had a little bit this morning. Um, so if she's, she's everything else is functioning. She's up, she's about, she's reasonably bright. Um, so if it looks like there's anything that's going to go on long term, we obviously will take her to the vet. Sizzle is 9, so she's unfortunately a good age. Carol, I will not tell Sally that you eat turkey burgers from Trader Joe's because I happen to think I had them 2 weeks ago as well. And in fact, Nick said they were very good because he wasn't looking forward to turkey burgers. Yes, I think it wasn't hiding Carla. I think it may have passed, unfortunately. So yeah, it was most peculiar because she really had looked just fine, and all three of them were having an absolute riot yesterday. They were making so much noise. They were all just strutting around and oh, doing their thing. So this weekend we've got somebody who will be working on the fences, just to get things up and ready before the ground freezes and the really big problems. Um, yeah, I think actually if I think for the last 2 days it's not particularly that we were busy, although we have been very busy. I think it was more a case of we weren't actually 100% sure that she was. Sybil is funny. She goes through a stage where she doesn't really want to go out on the jobs. That's why we kept getting puppies, because we were very well aware of the fact that she's getting on. She deserves to have a really nice retirement, where she's not encouraged to jump in and out of cars, visit with people, and you see her when she does choose to go, and Sybil chooses if she's going. If she's not wanting to go, we leave her. And today, Carlene only took Larkey and we took Wanda. So, it's a situation it's Sizzle's decision as to whether or not she goes on the outreach job. But I think that we've had over the last years, and this is the reason that we were keen to start another puppy, was that she's actually shown less and less interest in going on a regular basis. So, she's 9, for goodness sake. She's done a fantastic job. She's produced all these service dogs. She goes on outreach visits. She puts up with every blinking puppy we bring in. And I think that she deserves her space and her time for peace and quiet. So she's definitely choosing. And when you see her sometimes on the job, she starts off really strongly, and then the next thing is you can see she's just lost interest. So she just goes and lies down beside Carlene. And she's letting us know what she wants to do. So there's nothing specific that you can put your finger on that's wrong with her at the moment. She's just kind of slowing down a bit. Oh, so, but we will, even if we had a job, we would cancel the job if we needed to take Sizzle to the vet. So it's, she's just, she's a very important lady. Yes, her bowels are moving. She's going outside to urinate. She's sleeping. She's moving around of her own volition. She's she's listening to what's said. She's interested in what's going on around about her. It's just that she's been slightly off her food, which could be many things, but we shall wait and see. So I I think the weather tomorrow is going to be pretty good, which is super because I've got paddock picking to do. And I think it might start raining on Sunday. But then again, I'm not sure that I trust the weather because, quite frankly, the weather forecast is letting me down bigly at the moment. It doesn't seem to be particularly accurate, but I think we're all the busy on weekends. It's the days when we try and get ahead of what we need to do for the coming week and try and plan. I know that sounds like we're very haphazard, but we do actually try and plan. And it also gives us because there's the mornings are free. It gives you a big long stretch. I think Kate and I might tidy the barn again. Barn needs tidied on such a regular basis, but we're clearing out blankets. We're getting. I had to go and find blankets for Wilbur, and if you remember Wilbur, he is short of stature because he's one of our mini horses, and I have had such a great difficulty finding blankets that actually fit Wilbur because they're normally he's for a mini horse he's actually quite long, and the problem is by the time I go into his length of blanket, people the manufacturers obviously think that it's for a pony, and ponies tend to have longer legs and longer sides than Wilbur. So the 3 blankets that I've had I've put on Wilbur, and it looks like in a strong gust of wind we could take off because there's so much fabric on the body part of it, and it gets to the stage that obviously because it's just above his ankles, that then becomes a safety issue because you'll trip over it, and so I've had a good interesting few days trying to find blankets that actually fit his body shape. And I think I've got a couple now, which I'm delighted about because Wilbur, as I'm sure you'll remember, he's actually going to need to be clipped, I think, come springtime because he's our pushing pony, and the hair coat is actually more like fluffy fur. So he's like a marshmallow. He absorbs water, which is not a good thing if it's cold. So these are all little bits and pieces that we're trying to tackle before it gets really bad weather-wise. That is. So now, hopefully the spouses will be coming out this weekend if we get clear space. Every time you make plans to do something crops up and you're diverted away from it, just the way it is. We would obviously update you on the website and probably on Facebook as well. That's probably the easiest place for any updates about Sizzle. So that's us. Friday is nearly done, and we'll be back on Monday. So have a lovely weekend, everybody. Night night.